Gay Erotica, 10 Gay Men First-Time Stories, Gay Collection, Book 3, written by Karl Cumin, narrated by H.K. Kiting. Broken in by his friend's brother. Ian was almost out of the college gates when he felt a grip latch onto his shoulder, and he came to a stop when he realized who it was. "Did you want something?" he asked his classmate. "Your attendance," Phil said, and laughed when he pulled his hand away. "Huh," Ian replied as he frowned. "My attendance at what exactly?" "My parents have gone away for a long weekend," Phil answered. "They left yesterday evening and won't be back until Sunday night." "Yeah, so?" Ian said. "So it's party time at my house," Phil went on. "I'm having a few people around tonight, and you're getting an invitation." "Oh, okay," Ian said. "Fucking hell," Phil complained and let out another laugh. "Don't sound so enthusiastic about it." Ian wasn't sure what to say in response at first. He and Phil got on okay, but they weren't exactly best pals, and the invitation came as something of a surprise. "What's the occasion?" he finally asked. "The occasion is my parents are gone," Phil said. "It's a chance to let our hair down and have some fun. You're up for that, aren't you?" "Did they say it was okay for you to have a party?" "Of course not," Phil answered and shook his head. "They warned us against it, if you must know, but they're not here, and they won't find out." "What if it gets out of hand and—" "Shut up," Phil interrupted and sniggered. "If it gets out of hand, you'll have the time of your life and an awesome story to tell. Do you want to come or not?" Ian could think of no real reason to refuse the invitation. "I guess so," he said. "Great," Phil replied and started walking away. "Be there at 8, and bring something to drink," he shouted over his shoulder. "What's the address?" Ian asked in a loud enough voice to make sure he was heard. The answer was yelled to him, and he watched his classmate walk away before setting off for home. When he got there, he made himself something to eat, then slumped down in front of the television. He was still sitting there an hour or so later when he heard the sound of the front door opening and closing. "Did you have a good day?" his father asked when he walked in the lounge. "Yep, how about you?" "Busy," his father answered and held up his briefcase. "I managed to escape the shackles at the normal time, but only because I brought work home with me." "Sounds like you're in for a fun weekend then," Ian joked. "Yeah, hopefully I'll get most of it finished tonight. I take it you're planning a more relaxing evening." "I'm meeting some friends later," Ian replied and left it at that. Mentioning he was going to an unsupervised party would only result in a barrage of questions, and he decided it was best to avoid that. "Do you want something to eat?" his father asked when he walked to the door. "I had something when I got home." His father nodded before walking out of the room, and Ian watched some more TV before eventually heading up to his bedroom. He threw himself down on the bed to rest for a while, but got up when he saw it was after 7. Moving through the bathroom, he took a shower, then put on a fresh pair of faded jeans and a shirt when he was dry. Some gel in his hair and a squirt of aftershave finished his preparations. He was sure he knew the location of his classmate's home, but moved across to the computer and did a quick check. When he saw he was right, he grabbed his phone and wallet, then left his bedroom. "I'll see you later," he yelled when he got to the bottom of the stairs and heard the shouted response from his father. "Will you be late?" "Probably not," he replied, though he wasn't sure what time he'd get home. "Okay, well, have fun." Ian didn't bother replying this time and walked along to the front door. When he left the house, he went to the grocery store at the end of the street to purchase a 6-pack of beer, then made his way along to the bus stop afterwards. It was a while before the service he wanted turned up, and he checked his watch when he was sitting down to see it was 15 minutes before 8. He turned his attention out of the window and could feel the nerves playing on his mind as the journey progressed. The last-minute invitation meant he had no idea who else was going to be at the party, and he wondered if there would be anyone from his college class there. "Let's hope so," he muttered as he stared out of the window into the growing darkness. The last thing he needed was to walk into a house full of complete strangers. It wasn't like he was shy, but he wasn't overly confident when it came to meeting new people.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?